Hello, beautiful people. Today I prepared a deck with ARACHAS SWARM. We have this new patch 11.4, and as you can see, we have some new cards. Well, what I think about this, about all of these cards. Unfortunately, my opinion is not good, because first of all, Hive Mind. Once you're gonna play it, it's gonna end up in your graveyard. And as you know, right now everybody plays Squirrel, or if they not play Squirrel, they play. I think the name of this card it's is it Xavier? Am I correct? And yeah, Xavier. And unfortunately, it's gonna end up it's gonna be basically banished. So I don't think it makes any point of playing this card. There's no point. Acid Speed. I mean, I understand the mechanic of this card. I know how it works, but to be honest, for 8 points of provision, I don't think it's gonna pay off, especially at this stage of the game. Maybe this card needs a little bit of rework, and maybe then it's gonna be, I would say, more playable. With this Kikimore Stalker, yes, these cards definitely they work, but the issue that I have with them is that I created a deck right now with a different mechanic. I'm not like focusing over here on giving damages, but on buffing the units. And according to me, yes, it's gonna work, but not with this deck that I created. I have two Kikimore hatchlings in my deck, and I can see synergy between them and the Kikimore Queen. So that's why I included these cards. So let me walk you through all the cards and let's discuss the strategy. So the leader ability that we're gonna utilize today, it's gonna be ARACHAS SWARM. Order, spawn a drone on an allied road. Charges 5. Whenever you play an organic card, spawn a drone on a random allied road. We're gonna use Crystal Skull because in first round we would like to start with either, and mainly in this deck I'm focusing on new cards, but the cards which are old but reworked in this way that they are much different than they used to be. So we use Crystal Skull on either. Whenever your opponent places a unit on their side of the battlefield, damage it by 1 and gain 1 charge. And order, spawn a drone on this row. So if you start with this card, then you have a 2 points engine. One gives damages, the other one gives you a drone. And mainly, if you're gonna play a long first round, then it means that you will have all rows full with drones. So this is like a 2 points buff. Oneiro for consistency, because definitely we need this. It's gonna be played twice. Koschey, Thrive. Whenever this unit's Thrive is triggered, spawn a drone on this row. Adrenaline 4. Whenever this unit's Thrive is triggered, spawn and Endraga larva on this row. Yeah, so this is another insectoid. So as you can see, here we're gonna have many insects in our deck. Royal Decree, Tactic. Cave Troll, Defender. This is the protection for Kikimore's Queen, and also for Scratcher. Caranthir Ar-Feiniel. Deploy, spawn a 1 power base copy of a non-neutral unit with a provision cost of 10 or less from your hand on this row. And this now you have two options, guys, because first of all, if you have many cards in your hand in third round, it's gonna be a long round, and definitely you want to focus on one thing, that you don't want to get clocked. So then you play Caranthir into Kikimore's Queen. But if it seems like this round is gonna be shorter, then you play, of course, him into Koschey to create more Endraga larvas. So this is Caranthir, Kikimore's Queen, and this is absolutely amazing card, guys. After this rework, I think it shines like a diamond here. And finally, I can say that ARACHAS SWARM received a huge buff, and only because this card was reworked, this is a small rework, but in fact it is a big one, because as you can see, thrive. So it is like it was before. Whenever this unit's thrive is triggered, boost all allied insectoid on this row by 1. So basically it's pretty much the same, but this part is very interesting. Whenever you play an organic card, trigger own thrive. So you can imagine this a situation that we have some organic cards. We also have cards with a higher strength than this one. So it means that every single turn this thrive will be triggered, and also this ability will be triggered. So you can imagine how crazy amounts of points it can create. And also if you play 2 of them, because the second one will be played by Caranthir, so the effect will be even doubled. So you can imagine how it goes. Obviously guys, let me go back and let me, yeah, if you type insectoids in yeah. So another thing to consider is to play ARACHAS Queen, but then we would have to change a few things, because she would have to be consumed in order to get a third Kikimore's Queen. But definitely this is achievable. Other things, definitely Glasty Warp. It's also a good option for round 1. So you would play few organic cards. For instance, you would play definitely ARACHAS Nest. Definitely you would play Spontaneous Evolution. What else? You would play ARACHAS Behemoth. Maybe no, sorry, not this one. I was wrong. You would play Whispess Tribute into maybe another ARACHAS Nest. And then you could consume all of these units with Glassy Warp, and it would create crazy amount of points. What else, guys, here? What you could consider? Yes, and Kikimore workers. This one especially works fine if you have obviously a Koschey, and if you have a Kikimore's Queen, in order to trigger thrive. Also, another thing to consider is to have a Kikimore warrior, because this is kind of interesting. Order, destroy an allied unit, then spawn a Kikimore warrior and summon into the row. So this is another option, guys. So as you can see, I mean, there are some options, yes. With this natural selection, it's okay for the control deck, but you know, I wanted to play greedy, and I wanted to get as many points as I only can from this deck. And you know, with this deck, 200 points in the 3rd round, I mean, it's super achievable. So Doldu Lokke, it's resilient, deploy, spawn and play a succubus, Foca, Chimera or Hybrid. Obviously here we are focusing on Chimera. Chimera, it's a beast, mutant, deploy, consume an allied unit, adrenaline 5. Also boost all copies of the consumed unit on this row by 1. So we get this Doldu Lokke, we create Chimera, 5 points, and then if we have in the melee row, let me say, 9 of drones, then we're gonna create additionally 8 more points for our unit. And what is also important, that we're gonna get some kind of consistency due to Doldu Lokke, because move the highest power unit to the top of your deck and spawn a drone on each side of this card. So you can imagine that we can get unit like Kikimore Queen, Caranthir, Hydra, Cave Troll, or Koschey. Depends only on what do we have in our hand. Scoia'tael. This is an absolute must-have in this deck if we have these units with Thrive. At the start of the game, gain immunity, deploy, boost self by 0. Order, increase the boost value by 2, then replay itself. Units played on your opponent's side can trigger your Thrive abilities. This is amazing, guys. So this is also important, because not only you will be able to trigger Thrive, but also units played on your opponent's side can trigger Thrive. So this is absolutely amazing card. That's why, because of Scoia'tael, we have Cave Troll, and obviously Cave Troll is also a protection for both of our Kikimore's Queen. ARACHAS Behemoth, deploy, spawn 2 drones and boost all other insectoid on this row by 1. So this is a card that we would like to utilize in the 1st round, just to get some point value, and especially if we don't play Glasty Warp, because this is, you know, we can play Glasty Warp, or we can play ARACHAS Behemoth. It's up to you, but then you know the mechanics changes, and then you need to of course get rid of one of these five provision unit and get 4. But I don't think it's gonna be with some kind of a quality, you know, deficiency for us. It's gonna be pretty much the same. But these are only the things to consider. Whispess Tribute, deploy, play an organic card from your deck. So this is a card that will be played for consistency. Bone Talisman, boost all allied units by 1. You can play this one in the long first round or the third round. Endraga Queen, deploy. This is also a reward card and it's also great. Deploy, consume an ally unit and gain armor equal to its provision cost. Barricade, at the end of your turn, damage self by 1, then spawn a drone on this row. So, since it has already 6 points of power, so it can trigger our thrive abilities. And the one unit that we want to get rid of in the third round is obviously Caranthir, because he's not an insectoid, so he's basically useless for us. And by doing this, we're gonna meet these expectations, and we're gonna get armor. Predtory dive. So instead of playing Heatwave for 10 points, we have Predtory dive. Each player destroys their lowest power unit. So this is amazing, guys. We have spontaneous evolution, and we played this into insectoid. Boost an allied unit by 4 and gain an additional effect based on the unit's category. Insectoid. Spawn 3 drones on the boosted unit's row. So this is what we're looking for. Chimera. So it's already covered. We have an additional one. ARACHAS Nest. Spawn 4 drones on an allied row. 2 of them. Endraga's Warrior. Deploy. Consume your adjacent unit. For each consumed insectoid, gain 1 charge. So this is just in case if we are getting clocked. That's point number 1. And second is that we have Endraga's Eggs. Death Wish. Spawn 3 drones on this row. So 4 plus this true, it's already 7 for 4. And also this one, it's a super synergy, because he will get additionally 2 charges, and he will create additionally 2 drones. And Kikimore's Hatchling, order. Remove 1 boost from self, then spawn a drone on this row. So as you can see, this is super, it has a super energy with our Kikimore's Queen. Whenever you play an organic card, boost self by 1. So this is for third round. So this is the guy. This is the deck, guys, that I wanted to show you. But as you can see, you know, I don't play, unfortunately, these cards here, because you know I don't find them to be honest with you, like very attractive. I think, of course, at some point I will create some deck with all of them, but you need to give me some time, because unfortunately this hive mind, I know it sounds great, you know, and I know it's very promising, but unfortunately, if I would like to, you know, include a card for 10 points of provision only in order to be destroyed by a square, it makes absolutely no sense. So it's definitely better to invest in something different and to get some benefits out of this. And also, as you can see, this deck can be easily reworked to a deck with Golden Necker, because we have only 2 cards here with a provision cost of more than 9, only Oneiro and Koschey. So as you can see right now, it seems like Project Red, they created, you know, this archetype, but it's like a typical, you know, fashioned for Golden Necker. That's how I see it, you know, for now. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your time and support. We're gonna see each other shortly. I'm gonna create new decks for this 11.4 patch soon, maybe even today, maybe tomorrow morning. I'm gonna feed you with something different. And please like, subscribe, and comment. Feel free to, you know, give your thoughts about this deck and the previous ones from the 11.4 in the comment section. I'm really looking for your suggestions. Maybe you have some wishes. Maybe you would like to see something, you know, with some specific cards, you know. And just like I mentioned, you know, my goal here was to create a deck with the old but new rework card. As you can see, you know, the value here, it's guys, it's insane, you know, and few changes, you know, and I would say that this deck is very playable, you know, right now. Of course, you can make some additional changes. Maybe you can see something that I don't see. That's obvious. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So guys, the last announcement, please go to the nearest shelter and adopt a dog. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. See you.
Speak your mind. To the point.
Master, sees me every time.
Goodbye. snap and done.
What's better than a dead noble? Two dead nobles.
Me, I can tell.
Three agents on her at all times.
Your life is worth a great deal. Take a look at that.
much fire.
It's not that anyone's dead. It's you who's always sick.
Your powers of deduction seem to have waned not one bit.
Onward, sons of Nilfgaard!
The senses can be fooled easily.
We all make sacrifices. The Empire outlaws.
Don't snap your spout at me, I'm not feeling good.
Revolution is inevitable, merely a matter of time.
A highly curious case.
An interesting choice.
One day, know order again.